Hi, I'm Holly Cowley and I'm with you today as the newly crowned Mrs Philanthropy Australia 2010. This is the title I'm really honoured to receive, and it was awarded in August 2010 at the Mrs Australia Pageant right here in Melbourne at the BMW Edge Theatre. I chose to enter the Mrs Australia group competition as I wanted to give to others and I liked doing a little bit of modelling on the side. It wasn't until I entered and saw what the competition was about and began helping more and more people in my community and working with the two Mrs Australia Group charities, Project Dovetail and the Women in Need Foundation, that my life really changed. A little bit about my journey. It was February 2010 when I had the thrilling email. I actually opened it at work. And I was so excited, I could not wait to get home to share the news with my mum that I had been named as a national finalist in the Mrs Australia Globe Pageant for 2010. I'm 25 years old and I'm married to the most incredible man, my husband, and I have a very, very supportive family who have been with me for every step of the Mrs Australia journey. From the initial point when I got the email saying I'd been accepted as not only a national finalist but also the only WA state finalist, they've helped me with fundraisers, preparing, and just showed up at every single event that we've had, right to the point of coming to Melbourne with me to see the final at the BMW Edge Theatre, which was an absolute hit. My last event, which was really enjoyable, we organised a brunch. A good friend of mine helped me put it all together. And this was really important because it was all about women. In my community we have a lot of mums and older people that are women and they've gone and they've found something they're passionate about and they've set up their own business. So we were able to get them all together and do a file and collaborate everything they've done and introduce them to each other. So it was a fantastic morning of sharing and stories. And from that we've actually had come out of it a monthly get together. So we've got a little network in my community and the women get together once a month. We have a bit of dinner and one person takes a chance to get up each month and talk about their business and what's important to them. So I guess I felt so blessed to do these activities and have so many people jump on board to support me. But it's only now that stepping back that I can see the influence the journey has had and left on my community. August 2010, the Mrs Australia finals. This was a huge highlight for me. It was my first ever trip to Melbourne, so I got to board a plane, pack everything up, and my husband came along with me to carry my bags and hang out for a few days. It was absolutely incredible to meet the women, the other contestants of the pageant. We'd spoken on Facebook, had a bit of contact. To see everyone here in the flesh in Melbourne was just absolutely incredible. The pageant itself went for 2 days and we got to do so much over that time. We got to meet the Mrs Australia Group directors as well as the Women in Need Foundation founder, Dr. Tracy Campbell, so that was an incredible talk we had on the first day. We then got to have a little cocktail party, which is great. We got to get up, introduce ourselves in our personality profile section of the competition. Before the big grand finale day where we had lots of pageant training, lots of walking and choreography before the showdown, which took place at Federation Square. To me it was just like a really big fairy tale and I thought coming here was the end of something. It wasn't until I was crowned that I realised what had happened. The next morning I had to wake up and pinch myself that it was true. I was crowned Mrs Philanthropy Australia and that no, this is not the end. This is just the beginning. Something that I'd like to share with you that you probably don't know. Today you see me with the tiara, you see me all made up, the hair, the makeup, the glitz and the glamour. For me, this has not always been my life. There was a point as a teenager where I didn't see a future, I didn't see brighter days, and it was only through the love and unconditional support of my family that I was able to get through that. It's now that I'm at the other side that I really believe my mum when she promised me that there were so many wonderful things out there. I hope to use my experience and having seen darker days to now be at the end, there's a rainbow, it's beautiful, to really help others and to make a difference. I hope to also use this to encourage people to step outside of their comfort zone, because there's a whole nother world out there. If you're interested in doing something, don't doubt yourself. Get out there and give it a go, because all I did was send an email of thinking, I might be interested in doing a beauty pageant. And today I'm sitting before you as Mrs. Philanthropy Australia and preparing to travel to California this year to compete in the Mrs. Globe finals. From here, as Mrs. Philanthropy 2010, I really look forward to continuing to work with both the Women in Need Foundation of Australia and Project Dovetail. In my time already as a National Ambassador for these two charities, I've been able to host a Kids Day Out for Project Dovetail in my very own hometown of Busselton in Western Australia. This was really special for me, as we could see what the fundraising was getting, where we were going, and it's moving forward, which is so exciting. A couple of the projects I'm working on at the moment are helping bring Raise Your Standards, which is a Women in Need Foundation project, to Western Australia, as well as helping coordinate Project Dovetail mission to Outback Australia, because I'm really passionate about helping Indigenous Australians. It's with these two projects that I feel I can really make a difference and hope to make the most of my title as Mrs. Philanthropy Australia 2010. If you'd like to find out a little bit more about the Mrs. Australia Pageant, even if you're interested in becoming an entrant, the best way to contact us is at the Mrs. Australia Group website, which is www.mrsaustralia.com.au.